saucing out your luck. Going hard in the paint. And that's how you assert dominance.
Hey, what's up guys, it's SirTagCR, and today we're going to be going into a grand challenge trying to get a live 12 win with this new log bait deck. With this deck, you have the triple log bait threat of Goblin Barrel, Goblin Gang, Spear Goblin, and Princess. Typically, I like using my Spear Goblins at the bridge for chip damage. I like stacking a lot of Princesses so they have to poison them, using my Goblin Gang on defense, and then just using my Goblin Barrel as the main element of log bait. They're probably always going to hold log for your Goblin Barrel, so you either have to outcycle their log or you have to get your damage in other ways. My favorite way of racking up chip damage, interestingly enough, with this deck is going to be cycling Spear Goblins at the river. They're probably not going to zap your Spear Goblins because they're going to want to hold zap for your Goblin Gang, and they can't log it either because if they log it, then your Goblin Barrel is just going to do way too much damage. As you guys know already, Tornado synergizes perfectly with Princess, and it also allows you to deal with a lot of the tank decks and Hog Rider decks. This deck has two of the most overpowered cards in the game at the moment. It has Dark Prince and Bandit. I know you guys are probably sick and tired of seeing Dark Prince, but it is the best card, and I want to show you guys the best decks. This deck has a 2.9 elixir cycle. It's incredibly fast and super fun to play. So let's go jump straight into some GCs. Let's get a 12 win, and let's assert some dominance. Alright guys, so we got a game against the Rickmaster. We're going to be starting off the game strong with Steve the Spear Goblin on the left-hand lane. He's going to be saucing out the Ice Spirit, and then he's also going to be dropping a Princess. I was expecting him to actually be running the same matchup as us, but unfortunately he's actually going to be having a Hog Rider deck. So if he does have log, this could be pretty troublesome for us, but we're going to wait and see. So we're going to go drop our Dark Prince on the opposite lane of our Bandit. We're going to have some dual lane counter aggression, and he's actually going to have a Mini P.E.K.K.A. and Goblins. So most likely he will have log with this deck. When you see Mini P.E.K.K.A. and Goblins, they usually don't run Zap. We're going to be dropping our Goblin Barrel off to the side in case he's running a Zap and Tornado variation, but we're going to wait and see. So he's actually running Zap. I wonder if he has Tornado in this deck as well, because he has Princess, he has Zap. He's got to have another spell. He will not disappoint me. I believe in the Rickmaster. So we're going to be dropping more Spear Goblins at the river. Oh my gosh, so much chip damage actually. We're going to go in for a Goblin Gang, and then we're going to go log the Princess. So the Princess is going to walk right up into the log, and then the Goblins are going to get a little bit of chip damage. He's going to go drop minions, and the minions aren't going to give him too much utility. So every single time he drops a Hog Rider, I'm just going to NATO it. Unless he actually has a Ice Golem in front of it, and that could be a little bit more troublesome. We're going to go in for the Dark Prince right in front of our Bandit. I really wish that the Bandit charged on top of the Mini P.E.K.K.A., but unfortunately he did a really good play there, and he had the Bandit walk towards him. So, well played by him, and he ended up not finessing the Spear Goblin, so Steven is living, and unfortunately Steven died exactly as I said that. So I'm going to go drop my NATO. I'm going to let the Princess lock on, and then I'm going to go drop my Goblin Gang as soon as the Princess locked on. We got one Hog Rider hit, so I could have NATO'd that a little bit better. I could have waited for the Hog Rider to get closer to the tower, and then I could have went in for my NATO. But since he just utilizes Zap, I'm going to go in for a Dark Prince, and I'm going to go in for the Barrel. The Dark Prince is going to be tanking for the Barrel, and we're going to get an absurd amount of damage. He's going to drop Goblins, but it's not going to be enough. Notice how Steven the Stab Goblin still gets like 2 or 3 more hits than he should have. We're going to go in for a log just to mitigate damage, and we will not have to respond to the Mini P.E.K.K.A. there either, so feels good, man. I'm going to go drop my Spear Goblins, I'm going to go drop a Bandit, and then I'm going to go use my NATO. And the Hog Rider will not get any hits on the tower. I'm going to have to go in for a Dark Prince, though, because I got to make sure that the Princess doesn't lock on. I should have dropped it right on top. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. What am I doing, guys? That was a really bad play. We're going to have to go drop our Princess, and then I'm going to go in for a log on both of the Princesses. I thought that he was going to defend the Princess, so I went in for the log, trying to hit both of them instead of trying to get tower damage. It doesn't really matter anyway, because that side is not where we were going for tower damage anyway. So we're going to go in for NATO, and then we're going to also go in for Dark Prince, because we do have to deal with the Stab Goblins, and he could also drop a Princess. So the Dark Prince did 2 things. Made sure that we dealt with the Stab Goblins, and it also denied him, or area denial of him dropping a Princess anywhere near that. So we're going to go in for another log, we're going to go in for a Bandit, and unfortunately that Bandit was horrible, guys. Like, what am I doing? I don't understand why I'm playing it so poorly. But we're just going to go in for a Dark Prince and a Barrel, and we should end up taking the tower. There's not too much you can do in this circumstance. He's not going to have anything besides the Zap. The Dark Prince barrels right on through. We're just going to go in for a log, and then just a little bit of Princess damage, and then we got the game in the bag. So we're going to go in for Goblin Gang off to the side. I thought that my Princess was going to stay alive there, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. We're going to go in for Dark Prince. We're going to go in for a NATO yet again. Make sure that the Hog Rider doesn't end up finessing us. We're going to go in for Spear Goblins to make sure that we kill the Princess. And just one more Goblin Barrel. He just utilizes log, or he just utilizes Zap, so there's nothing he can do. Good game, well played, and good luck, sir. Very easy matchup. Bait just destroys this. Alright guys, so we got a game against RM. We're going to be saucing out the Spear Goblins in the back because he dropped his Goblin Gang preemptively. It was pretty interesting to see that. We're going to go drop our Dark Prince in front of our one Steven to make sure that he stays alive and thriving. And then we're going to go drop a Goblin Barrel in the back. Hopefully the Goblin Barrel actually finishes off the Princess. That would be hysterical if that happened. So that did not end up happening. He's going to be dropping a... Wow, alright. So he's actually running the old school variation of Log Bait. This is not really a great deck anymore. We're just going to go in for the NATO to make sure that he doesn't get any damage with that. And we're just going to be dropping our Spear Goblins at the river. You usually don't want to log the Spear Goblins, and they always apply a lot of pressure. It's really annoying to deal with them, and oh man. I think the Spear Goblins are probably the best element about this deck, because you never want to log them, you never want to zap them, because you always want to save your zap for the Goblin Gang if you're running zap, or you always want to save your log for the Goblin Barrel. So there are two different things that, no matter what spell you have, you never want to deal with the Spear Goblins with actual spells. And when you're down on Elixir, sometimes you don't actually want to afford like a Knight or something to deal with that, because it's going to be a negative trade. So we're going to go drop our Bandit. Bandit's going to bash right through the Princess, and then the Bandit also almost got on top of the tower. She was wiggling and jiggling, but she never bounced right on through, unfortunately. So Spear Goblins with the Goblin Gang are going to actually demand a little bit more of a response. He's going to drop a Knight. We're just going to be trying to stack as many princesses as possible. This is kind of a difficult matchup, actually, because he has Rocket for chip damage, right? He could Rocket cycle us out, and that's not something we really want to deal with. We're going to go in for our log. We're adjusting our log to accommodate the shadow of the Goblin Barrel, and then we're going to go drop a Dark Prince right in front of our Princess. We got to protect the Princess. Very well played from him. That Princess position ended up actually clipping ours, unfortunately for us. And his Princess is still staying alive. That is making me pretty livid right now. I do not want to see that Princess alive and thriving. So we're going to keep that Bandit alive. We're going to go drop our Spear Goblins, and he's going to go drop another Goblin Gang. So I feel like we kind of have to outcycle his log, and that's really difficult to do, but we're going to try to. We're just going to keep dropping logs on top of his Goblin Barrel because it's going to be a +1 trade every single time. And then we're going to go drop a Dark Prince and then a Princess. Our Princess will finish off his. Oh, no, it didn't really work out the way I wanted to. We're going to go NATO everything together and then go drop our Spear Goblin. So hopefully our Princess ends up finishing off his, and that worked out really well. I'm going to drop my Bandit in front, and then he's going to give me some more log value. So I'll take that every single time. Our Princess is staying alive, still kicking it, and the Bandit gets on top of the tower. That's what's up. When you win the Princess duels, you're going to be up Elixir, and as a result, you will always get damage. So he just went in for a log. He's getting super frisky, super adventurous. We're just going to be dropping our Goblin Gang to finish off the barrel, and then we're going to go in. We're going to go in for our own barrel. I think he got back to log just in the nick of time. So that was really well played by him. But I was not expecting him to do so. So he's going to keep going in for the barrels. We're going to go in for a Bandit. He does have a little bit faster of a cycle, so that is pretty annoying because he does have Ice Spirit. But the Bandit always dictates more of a response. So we're just going to keep trying to apply as much pressure as possible. I think we should start doing some dual lane aggression. But he goes in for a log. Oh, wow. He's getting super aggressive again. We're going to go in for a Goblin Gang. We're going to go for another pre-log because he's going to drop Goblin Gang. I should have hit the Princess too. I really should have. That was a bad play. It was a really good play, but poorly executed mechanically at least. We're going to go in for a Bandit. We're going to go in for Spear Goblins, and then we're going to go in for Dark Prince to mitigate as much damage as possible. He's trying to get us in rocket range, but it's not really working. He just exhausted his log, so we're going to go in for Princess at the river, and we're going to NATO everything to the King. And please give me damage. Okay. Let's go. Dark Prince is going to get on top of the tower. He's going to drop a Desperation Princess. We're going in for the barrel. The Dark Prince is still asserting dominance. And we end up taking the tower. Good game, well played, and good luck. That was a difficult matchup. I'm very happy to win that. Alright guys, so we got a game against Fagus. I'm going to be saucing out the Spear Goblins at the river, and we want to see what he's up to. So he's just going to go drop a Hog Rider and an Ice Spirit. So he's probably going to have Fireball. He could have Poison. We really haven't identified what he's rocking. And it's going to be interesting to see if he's running Flying Machine or if he's going to be running Executioner. Those are the two most predominant ones. That was a really bad play dropping the Princess in the lane that we already have damage on. That is really bad. So we're gonna find out what his big spell is right now. He's definitely going to spell that Princess, or he should. Guess he didn't have it in cycle. He's going to Poison. Okay. So he's got Poison. He's got NATO. It's going to be Exy for sure. So this is going to be a little bit difficult for me. I'm just going to go in for Spear Goblins with my Dark Prince. I want to bait out a log. I don't want to drop my barrel because that most certainly would give him too much value. You don't really want to log Spear Goblins, especially when you know that this is going to be a bait deck. So that's why I didn't go in for the Goblin Barrel there. And notice how much damage I got. I got rewarded handsomely for that play. I'm going to go in for my Goblin Barrel now. He doesn't have NATO back in cycle. I'm going to go NATO his Hog Rider. He doesn't have any support for that. He's going to go in for a log, and now I'm going to go in for my Goblin Gang as soon as the log is dissipated. So this is going to give me a lot of value. I think that the Goblin Gang is going to get on top of the tower. He's actually going to drop an Ice Spirit. But the Stevens, oh my gosh, that is a ton of damage. We are thriving, guys. He has 3 spells so far that we've seen, and we're still kicking it. So the big misplay that I did early on was stupidly cycling my princess in this tower. I definitely want to go opposite lane because, I mean, my tower damage is there, and then also he's not able to poison this. So that feels really good, man. And there's the XE that we know and love. I predicted that, and we're actually going to be going in for Spear Goblins in the right-hand lane. He doesn't want to log that. He could get some damage if he wanted to, but it would be a really bad play if he decided to. So I kind of wanted to bait it out. Sometimes people do go for that. We're going to see if the bandit's going to get some damage. He actually logs the bandit. That means that we're going to go in for the Goblin Barrel. Then we're going to go in for Goblin Gang. We probably will have to get the rest of our damage with logs and Princess Cycle at the bridge, but that's not too big of an issue. Another thing that I'm just going to do is I'm going to go in for a NATO to mitigate damage from the Hog Rider. The Dark Prince should actually barrel back, but it's not going to really matter. The Hog Rider, no, it does get a hit. It shouldn't have gotten a hit, but it did. I guess I mistimed it. I should have waited a split second longer, and then it wouldn't get a hit. So that's a bad play by me, but we're chilling. We're going to go drop our Goblin Gang. It's going to kill the Ice Golem first and foremost. Then we're going to cycle back. He actually went in for a log, so he's a mysterious fellow. I don't understand that play, but you're going to get spanked for it, sir. So we're going to go in for the Goblin Barrel. He's going to go in for a NATO, but it's not going to work out. The Goblins just thrive on the tower, and that's a ton of damage. The Dark Prince is completely spanking the right-hand lane as well. And he still has to deal with the princesses. When in doubt, just drop a princess in the back. It just resets the cycle, and then your opponent still has to deal with it, right? So it's not something he wanted to deal with, but he does have to deal with it. It's unfortunate for him. Princess will end up finishing off the Hog Rider, and we're just going to start log cycling him at this point. He went in for a NATO. That's very interesting, sir. We have like 2 more logs and we got the game in the bag. I assume he's probably going to go in for a log on offense. He kind of has to, but nope, he's going to go in for a poison. So we're just going to go NATO that directly into the middle. We're going to start cycling more logs. We're going to go in for another Goblin Barrel in front. He might log this, but it's still not going to hit the princess. So, yep, all right. I guess he thought that we were going to juke him, and the Goblin Barrel just finished him off. GG, man. So we got a game against Nick BR. I'm going to be saucing out the Spear Goblins at the river. And he's going to be dropping his Spear Goblins on defense. And then an Ice Golem. So what is this? It's going to be some Graveyard deck or Hog Rider. Interesting to see Ice Golem with the Spear Goblins. He's going to be going in to try to kill our Princess. But we're just going to NATO the Miner directly to the King Tower. A cordial invitation to activate our King Tower right off the bat, Nick. I'm sorry, dude. That is probably not something that you wanted to see. We're going to try to defend the Princess from the Dark Prince. And fortunately for us, it worked out beautifully. He ends up having to extend a Zap. And wow, we have a really nice push going on our hands. We end up going in for the Bandit. Bandit ends up finessing, and I can just log this. He's got Miner, he's got Prince, and Ice Golem. So some type of Miner poison with Prince, I guess. I think that's probably the call. And he's got Zap. He probably has Poison, right? Or he's got Fireball. I don't really understand. This is an oddball deck that I haven't seen before. We're going to go in for Goblin Gang. I assume he's probably going to poison this if he does have it. He actually just extends a Zap. That means I'm going to go in for Dark Prince and then go in for Goblin Barrel just to see what he has, right? I don't know what deck he's running, so I want to go in for the Goblin Barrel. I should have went for it directly on top of the tower instead of like at the start of the tower. Otherwise, we would have completely taken tower because the Dark Prince would have been tanking, and then his Dark Prince wouldn't have been able to hit 2 of the Goblins, unfortunately for us. So probably one of the worst possible starts, or probably one of the worst possible plays by me, but I still got a lot of damage, so I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to go drop Spear Goblins yet again. His Ice Golem will get finished off. We're going to go collect a lot of chip damage with them. Started another Princess. It will finish off the Goblin Gang, and then we're going to also go in for our own Goblin Gang right on top of a Miner. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't go in for a Zap there, but I guess he was just down so much Elixir that he couldn't afford it. The Dark Prince barrels on right close to his tower, and we get a lot of chip damage. I don't understand what this guy is doing, but he's getting spanked right now. We're going to go in for a log just to kill all the Spear Goblins, and then bounce the Dark Prince back, allowing our Bandit to start working on top of it. We're going to go in for another Princess. It will finish off the Stab Goblins, and then we're going to go in for Spear Goblins for a little bit more chip damage. So Nick is getting completely finessed. There's not too much he can do. He's got Zap with Minor Poison, and it just doesn't work in this matchup. He's going to be dropping another set of Dark Princes. We're going to go in for a log. The Bandit dashes right on through, kills the Prince. The Dark Prince of ours is killing his, and then we're just going to go in for a barrel. So this barrel will get a lot of damage. We're going in inside corner. He's going to go in for a Zap, and we're just going to start going in for more Princesses, stacking as many Princesses as possible, going in for another Dark Prince. And he's trying to get some minor chip damage, but it's really not working. As soon as he goes in for another one, it's going to spell doom because he's just going to be down more and more Elixir. We just capitalize, kill the Miner with a Goblin Gang or a Dark Prince, and then counter push and win the game every single time. And the Goblin Barrel finishes off the tower. That's going to be a good game, well played, and good luck in the rest of your challenge. That was actually our 11th victory. Next, the Toxic Army. So I wonder how toxic this man is. We're going to be dropping our princess in the back, and we're going to be muting him immediately because he's probably going to be pretty toxic. We're going to see what's up. He's going to be dropping the musketeer in the back as well. So is it going to be a giant deck? Are you running giant double prince with musketeer? You probably are, man. Yeah, there it is. You're pretty toxic if you're running that deck still. We're going to be dropping our bandit right on top of the musketeer, and hopefully he doesn't have log and a whole bunch of spells, but you know, he's probably going to have every single spell in the book actually. So we're going to go drop our goblin gang and then our princess off to the side. And he goes in for the log, but the princess is still alive and thriving. The princess is not hit by the log. The mega minion does get one more hit. We didn't want to have that near our tower because it would have gotten poison chip damage. And we're not about that life. We're going to go in for the dark prince to protect our princess. And thankfully that does protect our princess. Princess is still kicking it, still alive and thriving. And the princess will end up dying, unfortunately, a tragic death to the mega minion. So I want to keep applying pressure. I want to go in for a goblin barrel with my bandit because I have a faster cycle than him. I feel like he's not going to be back to log, and I feel like we're going to get a ton of damage here. So despite his toxicity, he's still going to get finessed, and he's got 3 spells with giant, but it's not working out. So all I got to do is go in for spear goblins on top of the giant, and I feel like we got this game in the bag. I don't really know what he's going to be able to do from this point on. As long as we can just chip damage out with like log princess at the river, there's not too much. Even the spear goblins are going to come in clutch, and he misses the zap timing, or he misses the ice spear timing, so we got even more damage. We're going to go in for the goblin gang at the river. He goes in for a log, but now he doesn't have an answer to the goblin gang, so, or the goblin barrel rather. So this is working out really well. I can go in for a goblin barrel at any point and just take his tower. He's going to go in for a prince in the back, so I assume he's going to be rushing opposite lane and just forfeit that tower. I'm going to go in for goblin barrel, and that's exactly what he's planning on doing. We're going to go in for our stab goblins, or our spear goblins, and then go in for our dark prince. And we're just planning on NATOing everything together. That's exactly what's up. He's going to go in for a poison, but the poison was a little bit too late, man. And he's just still going to lose the tower. He's going to go in for a dark, or he's going to go in for a prince. Prince isn't going to finish off our goblin gang in time. Or with 44 seconds remaining, I don't know what he can do left. We're going to go in for a princess. We're going to go in for a bandit. And we're going to try to make sure... Okay, so he's going to go really hard in the paint on us. We're going to have to go in for a dark prince. We're going to go in for goblin gang in the spot that's not going to get hit by the poison. We're going to go in for a NATO just to mitigate damage. He's going to go in for a... this is a really well played zap, actually. But we're just going to go in for spear goblins to make sure that the mega minion doesn't get too much damage. It's going to get 1 or 2 swipes, only 1 swipe, and that's going to literally spell doom for him. There is no way for that Santa Claus to break through with 10 seconds remaining, especially when we have NATO and log. We're just going to defend the virginity, my man. Good game, well played, and good luck, sir. We're not going to be MU despite you having a myriad of spells and a supremely annoying deck. But that's going to be our 12th win, guys. Let's get some hype in a recorded video. I'm very happy to take this victory over that giant prince with 3 spells. And that was a very difficult matchup as well. So let's go jump right into the chest, and hopefully we can pull some nice juicy legendaries. I don't have the magic archer or the royal ghost maxed out, so that is on my wish list. We're getting the bombers, we're getting tombstones, we're getting the cannon cart, elixir collectors as well. Skellies, I love skeletons. I really want to see a buff. They are such a bad card at the moment. You can only really use them in a few cycle decks. We're getting battle rams, the chivalrous knight, the royal giant, and then we're also getting the dark goblin, Steve the dark goblin. I know someone in the comment section was calling the dark goblin Steve. I don't think it works like that, man. I think they're like cousins, but you can't call him Steve. Getting the mortar, and then we're also getting Bob the Barbarian barrel, so that's pretty nice. We are well on our way to maxing that card out, and I'm going to keep grinding GCs until we get that maxed out. And that's actually where I'm going to end today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the vid and the deck. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to sauce me a fat thumbs up. And if you guys want to check out the deck, as always, it will be down below as the pinned comment. And if you somehow haven't already, be sure to check out RoyaleAPI.com for all the latest and greatest 12-win decks just like this one. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for chilling with me, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Peace out.